Noor Mukadam was a Pakistani victim of murder. She was a 27-year-old woman and the daughter of former diplomat Shaukat Mukadam. She was murdered at a house in an upscale neighborhood in Islamabad on 20th July 2021. Noor had been held hostage for 2 days, tortured with a knuckle duster, then decapitated with a knife. She was also raped before being murdered. The murder suspect was identified as a 30-year-old Zahir Jafir, who was arrested at the scene of the crime and taken to the police station. The parents and household staff of Jafir were also arrested for hiding evidence and complicity, because Noor apparently had made multiple escape attempts, but the household staff refused to permit her to leave. The murder was premeditated, as Jafar later confessed to police that he had, in fact, intended to kill Noor if she refused to accept his marriage proposal. Was justice served? Let's find out. It began on July 7, 2021, when Jafar had actually booked a one-way plane ticket to New York. Jafar's departure was scheduled for 3:50 a.m. on July 19. However, on July 18, Jafar made arrangements for a taxi to transport him to the Islamabad International Airport. That evening, Jafar called Noor, and she was at home in Islamabad's Naval Anchorage neighborhood. At about 9:05 p.m., Noor left her house and arrived at Jafar's residence in Sector F7/4 around 10 p.m. At 2:15 a.m. on July 19, Jafar came out of his house with a barefooted Noor, and both of them got into the taxi. While on the way, Jafar suddenly told the driver to turn back because apparently they were too late and would not be able to reach on time. The taxi then dropped them at Jafar's residence again at 2:35 a.m. According to the driver, Noor was silent throughout the entire trip while Zahir continued to speak to her. Almost 24 hours later, on July 20th, Noor's father sent her three texts at 12:57 a.m. asking her where she was, but she did not respond. At 5:48 a.m., her mother sent her messages followed by calls from two family friends. Finally, at 10:43 a.m., Noor sent a voice recording to her mother, details that have not been disclosed to the public, but apparently it was her last message before her brutal murder. After she sent the message, Jafar immediately called Noor's mother from his own phone and told her Noor is not here at my house. From 11 a.m. to 7:30 p.m., Noor is believed to have been tortured and murdered by Jafar. Noor had tried to escape by jumping from the balcony, but she was chased by Jafar and the house security guard handed her back to Jafar. The police are of the view that the murder could have been averted had the security guard informed the police instead of handing her back. Noor's decapitated body showed signs of torture and stab wounds. A leaked audio tape revealed that after the murder, Jafar had phoned his parents. Instead of calling the police, they called Therapy Works, a counseling and psychotherapy center where Jafar had been working. Therapy Works staff arrived at the house, where one of the team members was injured upon encountering Jafar. The suspect, Zahir Zakir Jafar, is a dual Pakistani-American citizen and the son of a wealthy businessman, Zakir Jafar and Asa Adamji. Noor's father, Shaukat Mukadam, previously served as Pakistan's ambassador to South Korea and Kazakhstan. In addition to the suspect and victim, the families were also acquaintances. Following the murder, a first information report was registered against Jafar under Section 302 of the Pakistan Penal Code. The suspect was arrested at the site of the crime. 4 days later, Jafar's parents and the house servants were arrested on suspicion of complicity in the crime. Police investigated the role of Therapy Works as well. Data recovered from Jafar's phone indicated that he had been involved in violence against women in the past. Jafar's name was placed on the Provincial National Identification List, an exit control list by the Pakistani government to prevent him from fleeing the country. On August 15, 2021, police were able to match fingerprints and DNA, confirming Jafar's involvement in the murder. The decision of the case was announced on February 24, 2022 by the Additional Session Judge Atta Rabbani. In the judgment, Zahir Jafar was awarded a death sentence for murder, 25 years of imprisonment for rape, while watchman Mohammad Idfikar and gardener Mohammad Jan were sentenced to 10 years in prison for abetting. The court dismissed the position taken by the defense that Zahir was suffering from any mental disorder and could be acquitted on these grounds. In addition, the court also acquitted Zahir's parents, the cook Jamil, and the Therapy Works employees, as the court could not find any evidence against them. The murder and its gruesome nature sparked strong condemnation and public outrage in Pakistan, and numerous calls to bring the perpetrator to justice. Amid public speculation that Zahir's family would try to wield its influence to stall the investigations, the Jaffer family actually released a statement to the media where it extended its condolences to the Mukadam family, while adding that they categorically condemned this atrocity and forever denounced Zahir and his actions. Zahir's maternal side, the Adamji family, also issued a condemnation in which they expressed their grief and stated, "Some, though, still questioned whether Noor's plight would ever have reached mainstream media had she not been the daughter of a diplomat or belonged to a wealthy family."